What's going on, everyone? Austin John Place here, and today I want to go over how you can get better pictures in new Pokemon Snap. It's now release day here in the United States, and I've seen some other outlets, some channels and stuff sort of provide some content for this, but they're a little vague, and I want to go over the specific mechanics on exactly how to get higher score photos. There's a few things to keep in mind, and then some things that are kind of just random and kind of just situational. I'm still in the process of finding every single 4-star photo, and I am going to have a complete guide for that. The Illuminous Pokemon, the Legendaries, Mythicals, a whole bunch of things. I'm not doing a full walkthrough. Instead, I'm going to be doing these helpful videos like this because I personally feel as though this is a game that you should experience yourself. There's something to know that there are 3 levels to each course. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And then if you look at the bottom right, you can have a research level of max level. That's what happens when you finish level 3, or you level up from level 3, right? Not every Pokemon has a 1, 2, 3, and 4-star pose on the same course. In fact, it would be very rare, but if a Pokemon appears on multiple courses or multiple levels of the same course or day versus night of the same course, between all of those, that's where you're going to find all of your star photos. And if you haven't found all of the star photos and you haven't unlocked the additional levels of that course and the nighttime version of that course, yes, there is a nighttime version of pretty much every course, including all the ocean courses, then you just need to play the game more before you can hunt down all of those photos. The pose is fixed as the pose. If you're going to interact with the Pokemon, then you're going to interact with them and you're going to be good to go, right? And it's just a matter of framing up that pose. So keep that in mind. These Bidoof, they're just walking here. That's a 1-star. Now they're running away. Still a 1-star. This Score Bunny up here, he's directly in the middle, but he's far away. You see this square around Score Bunny, right? That square is going to be the exact middle of his body on the horizontal plane, meaning that you should pan your thing directly to the middle of that. Now it's a question of if you should go higher or lower, but it's always going to be directly in the middle. And even for some Pokemon that are asymmetrical, like Torterra, who's later in this course, it seems to remain true that you want that directly in the middle, maybe higher, maybe lower. If you aim it directly at the middle of that box, you're more likely to get a perfectly in the middle shot. Now, there are times that you're not going to be able to take a zoomed in photo. For example, this Tangrowth right here, if I were to zoom in, I'm cropping off way too much of its body. Instead, I just want to take the shot, not zoomed in, and that's going to allow me to get a better overall photo because you want to have all of the Pokemon's body in the frame, taking up as much of the frame as possible. I would say within 95%, because if you zoom in too much, then you're not going to get a full frame photo. I know it sounds weird, but that's just the way it is, right? The Torterra, perfect. As you're going to see, that square is Hey, Randolph's playing. That square is directly in the middle of Torterra, even though he's asymmetrical because he has the longer tail. So you just want to keep yourself focused in the center of that, no matter what. And that's the placement. Placement is directly in the middle, and size. Size counts double, because size is on a scale of 0 to 2,000, right? So the size of the Pokemon matters a lot more than the direction and the placement. You should focus number 1 on size, number 2 on placement and direction. So if the Pokemon is not facing you at all, but it's taking up a full frame, that's a lot of points. This Swanna right here, perfectly aligned to the middle. And we're cropping out too much of the head, but when it dips down, okay, when it dipped down, it wasn't directly in the middle. But we just want to keep focused on it because it's going to zoom out slightly, and then we get that real perfect shot. Oh, look at that. Now it's doing the feather thing. Oh, look, it's doing other things. It did all the things and stuff. And there's a Sylveon. Boop. Cool. Your first time playing through a level, just take pictures. Don't even interact with things. Instead, just get a full experience of what's going on. So that pincer, way too close. But if I wait till it's far away, and it's not facing me at all, but that was directly in the middle, and that was fairly most of the frame. I'd say that's like an 800, 840 of the frame, right? This hoot. Nice. Now, I do have motion controls on because I want a fine amount of rotation just by moving the controller. And then I also use my left stick and also my right stick. There's a difference. The left stick is going to move your cursor in the middle. The right stick is going to pan your entire camera. So you can get this exact shot and follow it along. And the nice part about the analog sticks is you get to feel that exact amount that your cart is moving. Also, pro tip, when you're zoomed in and also when you're looking behind you, your cart actually moves slightly slower. The game explains it. I really didn't experience it myself, but I kind of see it a little bit. If you ever need to delay yourself a little bit, just make sure you're zoomed in. It also makes throwing items a little bit easier, right? There's something super duper important to go over, and I actually took this picture later in the video, but it's so important that I wanted to make sure that everyone heard it. You need to focus on the Pokemon, not the action. So you see all this fire kick here, right? And you see the whole frame of everything going on. Well, we're too close to get a really good background picture. So your focus should just be on Score Bunny. Let's hide the menu. Your focus should just be on Score Bunny, right? That is directly in the middle of the frame. You do not want that. That is not it. Even though that kick is the whole reason that photo is awesome, that is not a good score. If you have the right frame of the animation going on, you want to focus on the Pokemon. That is the photo you want to take, not that. I know it sounds weird. If the Pokemon is interacting with another Pokemon that causes the action to happen, doesn't matter. You want to focus on the one Pokemon doing the one thing, not the two Pokemon. Right? I mean, you get the score for the second one there, but honestly, in this game, size is double everything. Size is double everything. So if you have size and you have position perfect, that's 3,000 points. And then it just comes down to pose, which is on average 500, and then direction, which if it's not facing you at all, it's going to be as low as 0. But it's probably never going to be 0. You're probably going to average out to 500, 700. This photo was I think a 700 for the direction, even though he's not facing me at all. Bottom line is, you want to focus on size above everything else, and then position. If you have some of his feet and some of his ears cut off, you're going to lose points. Instead, you want somewhere between 100% of the photo and 95% of the photo. This Tangrowth, the last one that I have, that is a full frame shot. That is everything. However, part of its body is obstructed by the grass, and that can hurt your overall score. You're gonna see right there that that's a 1-star silver. That means that there's definitely room for improvement. Maybe the sleeping photo is gonna be a little bit better. Instead of using the left stick to do things, you could just use the D-pad. Much faster. So this shot right here is directly in the middle. Only the tiniest bit of his tree is cut off at the top. So I have a feeling that that's going to be the best photo. Swanna. Oh, that's right. We got the feather pruning thing, right? And that's going to be a whole lot better than that really far away shot that I have. Here's a great example. See how over here it's doing the feather plucking thing? I don't know exactly what it's called when birds do this, right? And over here it's not doing that. That doesn't matter. It's still the same pose. There's a different score for the same pose. So all of these are 3 stars. That doesn't matter. But the fact that that's in the middle of the action, that's a slightly higher score for that. So I'm gonna go with this, even though it's not taking up the full frame. I'm gonna lose some points on that, so it's not gonna be a full 2,000 on size. It's probably gonna be like 1,400. Super awake, wow. Look at that. I don't think you can get, oh, no, did I get? Yeah, look at that. That is a full frame hoot right there. I think it's pretty much the exact same size. It's also important that none of its body is cut off, just like this pincer here. So if I compare this to the original, a lot of its body is cut off, right? And over here, not too much. Oh, but I wanted to show a good example. So over here, only the toppest bit of its horns is non-visible, but that's going to be a good on size and placement. TLDR, size is much more important than position and direction, because you're always going to get points for position and direction, right? Here's the score, bunny. Size is not going to be great. It's not a lot of the frame. I'm going to guess 600 to 1200. 1193, so 1200. Direction is actually its face. So if it's a Pokemon that has a separate head from its torso and its head is facing you directly on, that's a full 1000 points. If its body is facing away, but its face is facing you, also 1000 points. If it's facing slightly off to the side, that's when you're going to get like your 900s, your 940s, right? And then if it's facing completely away from you, then you're looking at 200, 300, regardless of the direction of its body. To an extent, because after a certain point in scoring, it doesn't make any sense. So, and you're going to see what I'm talking about in a little bit. It's not going to be as good for the size. Now I'm just splitting hairs, because that's a 1900 size, and the only reason it's 1900 is because the grass obstructed it a little bit. The placement is directly in the middle and the direction not facing me. I'm going to be the same on direction. Placement, probably the same. In fact, I don't think I'm going to beat it. I did get slightly higher on the pose because it's sleeping instead of just standing there. Size is 1850. Direction was a little bit better. Placement was perfect. It was directly in the middle of the frame. Like I said, direction was going to be about the same. And also that pose and size kind of canceled each other out. So yes, we did get a better photo. And trust me, once you get to like some levels, level 2, and some levels, level 3, you are going to be really grinding for like that last little bit of points. This Torterra, this is going to be a much better picture, significantly better. So the pose should be exactly the same because it's sleeping, right? The size, I think I'm also going to get a 2000 for the size. I also noticed that in the first one, I think some of its tree is cut off, or maybe that's the Torterra behind it. Direction, it's probably going to be a little bit worse for direction because he's not facing me as much, but placement is going to be better.
Great timing.
Pose exactly the same. Size, how is it 1999? Is just slight of its, am I just losing just the ittiest bit of the bush at the top? I've never seen 1999 before, but there you go. Direction is actually somehow better. Okay, I have no idea why they gave me more points for direction. Neither its body nor its face are facing me more. I'm clueless. The advice that I've given you is remain true throughout my entire experience. Placement is also, you know, phenomenal. Right in the middle. It could be slightly more to the left and then we'd be better off. Also, I realized that the other background or the other Pokemon score barely matters in my opinion, because I've never seen it go above like 200. Again, that's when you're in endgame and you're splitting hairs. Background 250, that's a pretty varied background. You have also the Beaver Dam there. Sorry, the Bidoof Dam. That's a unique thing, so I think because of that, I got that special background bonus at 249. And this is the only thing I've seen in regard to the background. Todd's tip, special scenery 1. When you take a photo of a Pokemon, the background affects your score. Keep an eye out for scenery that'll give your photos a special background. I don't know exactly what that means, other than, you know, if they're standing in front of a lot of stuff going on is better than them standing in front of a polygon. That's all I can really bring it down to. Anything 4,000 points, you should be happy. Anything 5,000 points, and that's a great picture. This Swanna, oh, this is gonna be so much better. The pose, probably better. Size, so much better. I'm probably getting 1,800 for this. Direction, I'm not really too sure because its eyes and its head and its body. Placement is going to be near perfect.
Great timing.
Pose is definitely better. Size, perfect size. 9 out of 10 on direction and placement. So boom, we went from 27 to 46. That's a nice photo. That's a nice Swanna right there. All right, this Hoodoo over here. This is going to be so much better. The pose, probably not better, because, you know, it's actually doing something on the left. Size is going to be near perfect. I might get another 1999. Direction, perfect. Placement, perfect.
Nice work.
Perfect, perfect. 993 on placement. I guess it could have been slightly to the left. Fun fact, this Hoodoo picture that I just took is the closest I've ever come to getting a perfect size, direction, and placement. Wow. Yeah, I just went through my entire photo decks. 2,000, 1,000, and 993 out of 1,000. That's almost a perfect photo. In fact, I should redo this and just like make sure I'm just the slightest bit off to the side to make sure it's a perfect photo. 4,500 is like that essential cutoff because that's 2,000, 1,000, 1,500. Anything 4,500, that's a perfect photo. But that 5,000 mark, that's where you really strive for glory. This pincer. All right, so I took this as an example of the importance of size over direction.
Nice work.
So size, perfect. Direction, horrible. Placement, much better. Actually, wow, we almost got completely tied. If it wasn't for the other Pokemon, which I'm not too sure what Pokemon it's talking about, we wouldn't have beaten that. But yeah, that goes to show the importance of size right there. I've never gotten that low on direction before. I've never seen it go down to 68. Unlike the original Pokemon Snap, if it isn't facing you, that isn't the end of the world anymore. Dodrio. So pose, probably gonna be the same. Size, might be perfect. Nope, it's not perfect because its feet are cut off by the grass and there's a little bit of room at the top of the head. Direction is probably going to be on par, probably still about 700. Dodrio also scores really weird with direction because it has 3 heads. Placement, I'm not really too sure because the center of its body in reference to its overall posture.
Nice work.
Pose is slightly better. Size isn't as good. I got a 950 and a 980 direction and placement. Also, this wasn't as good of a picture because of the size. Wow, look at that. This Combi, not facing me at all, but the size is dramatically better and it's a better photo. After you find the final luminous Pokemon and see the credits, under settings, you're gonna have burst mode, which allows you to take 3, 4, or 6 photos in a single burst. 6 is just reckless. This is going to give you a nice option on what's going on. So say for example, this Score Bunny right here, I'm gonna hit with this luminous orb and he's doing some action shots right now of hopping up and down. I just came here for this one photo. I wasted 20 odd pictures on it, right? But now I'm gonna be able to come in here and look at this one picture of Score Bunny and see what my best photo is. Oh, I got a 4-star. Perfect. That blue kick right in the middle of the air. And in this one, he's slightly closer to the middle. Direct, I don't know if that's more in the middle. I think because of the way his body is, it's actually taking up more of the frame. And I like this one over that one because more of the fire is still showing up. Actually, let's do the same shot exactly twice. I'm gonna submit this one here with the kick. I'm gonna come back and get one more higher in the kick, and I'm gonna get one at the end of the kick. Okay, so the pose is only 200. That goes to show you that I definitely missed the kick. I got a 4 for the pose because, you know, it's in the middle of the kick animation, but a 200 because it's at the end of the kick animation. And that's only a 2,700. That's not a good photo. Oh, but that's Score Bunny complete. Awesome. All right, so Score Bunny is up here, right? We're gonna throw our Lumina Orb, and now he's doing all these hops and skips and kicks and jumps, and he's having a great time. He's having the greatest time. The Quit Research becomes available if it's not your first time on a course, and if you have already completed the course. So if it's your first time there, or if you took a picture of a new Pokemon, you cannot quit the course. So I wanna find, ooh, right there. See over here? He's closer and he's clearer, but that's the middle of the animation, even though he doesn't appear as large. So we're gonna go with that. See, now the pose is 795. Size, not as good. Direction, slightly better. Placement, I guess he's more in the middle of the frame. And yeah, we just got slightly higher, but it really comes down to the size. And that's where it's gonna hurt you. Like I said, size is twice your score. And because size is twice the score, I feel like if I'm slightly further ahead, I can get a better shot here. So I'm just gonna hold RZ to turbo up a little bit. Oh, I got stopped by, there we go. Good job, Score Bunny. thought I saw something on the ground at the beginning. Oh well, I'll save that for another video. So I was able to fast forward a little bit, but honestly those Bidoof got in the way and slowed me down. So he's slightly larger here, right? Still in the exact middle of the kick animation. In fact, it's the exact frame of the animation, if I do say so myself. He isn't as centered, but again, size is twice as important as position. Size is better, direction, placement. Yeah, it is minutely a better photo. So let's not run into these Bidoofs. Wait for them to move away. There we go. Now we can turbo forward. Shoot this. And now he's super big. Yep, go for it, buddy. Oh. Now we're getting to the point that he's no longer facing us, but I really do feel like the fact that he's bigger now is important. So the pose, better. 120 points better. Size, double the size. Placement directly in the middle. See, now we're getting up to where we want to be. And it all goes down to that size over direction. In fact, I don't think I'm getting a better score of any photo than that. 3764, I'm kind of happy with that, especially how far away he is. So I'm good. Well, there you go, guys. That's a whole bunch of advice on the exact mechanics that I've figured out so far, which is still a little confusing, on new Pokemon Snap. I do hope that my rules of thumb here as far as size and placement over everything else is important and is going to help you in your journey and help you level up your course levels to get you as much expedition points as possible. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.